Okay, today we're going to feature the construction industry here in Central Iowa. We're going to talk to my friend Troy Strawhecker. Troy owns a real estate development company. He's got a couple of programs going on here in Des Moines. So we'll talk to him a little bit about the construction industry here in the last several years and what he sees as we move forward. What I talk about today is the construction industry. As we all know, it's an integral part of our economy, both locally as well as nationally. The economy oftentimes is affected by pluses and minuses within the construction industry. So we thought we'd take a few minutes to talk to Troy right now and kind of see his view, his take on things. Troy, give us a little bit of your background. How long have you been in the construction business?
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is our 6th year, so we're a pretty young firm.
Excellent. And Premier involves 3 different companies. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Premier Companies is comprised of sort of a 3-legged stool that are all real estate related. Our fee-based sort of company is called Premier Real Estate Services. It's a full-service brokerage and property management company. Premier Commercial Services is our commercial division, and we're sort of a construction management and risk firm. And then Premier Development is the entity that we use to speculatively buy power corners or buildings to sort of refurbish. So
Excellent.
Those are our companies.
So right now we're standing out in front of the old Meeby's restaurant, which is near Jordan Creek Mall here in Des Moines. Troy and his group bought this, they're refurbishing it, and turning it into a couple of rentals. You can see Chipotle, and Chipotle just opened this weekend, maybe?
Last Thursday.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then we also have this new building here in the background. You getting a good picture of that? Excellent. And so what else is going to this building right here?
The building in front of us, Chipotle has 2,000 square feet, and then AT&T is building what they call a store of the future, which will have all the things you've come to know in an AT&T store, plus the DirecTV component for home entertainment. And then the new construction out behind you here, we have a 15,000 square foot building, which from right to left will have a Firehouse Subs opening yet this winter, Pita Pit opening next week. There's a vacant space there. There's a men's salon called Scissors and Scotch that will be going in. And then the whole 6,000 square feet, kind of sort of a light gray over, is an exciting restaurant called Firebird's Wood Fire Grill with a full patio, and it's kind of a steak and seafood place. And they open less than a month from today.
I've heard a lot of good things about that store. So, tell us a little bit. Now, you've been at this for 6 years, and actually your background in construction goes before that.
Yeah.
But you've seen an evolution since the recession of 08, 09. How firm, how strong is it today, both in residential and in commercial?
Yeah, very strong. When to put some chronological context to it, if you go back to 08 after the fallout, really the only asset class that seemed to have any activity whatsoever was multifamily or apartments. Part of that driver was a lot of people either losing their homes or couldn't qualify for a mortgage for a new home. And so multifamily became a very hot product. So that's when we started our company. I'd had some other partnerships with some other folks, but Premier proper was started 6 years ago, kind of in the aftermath of the economic setback. We started
Perfect
with apartments.
timing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Well, we sort of felt like there were some opportunities out there, and there are a lot of sellers and not a lot of buyers. So we put a group together, and there's 4 of us partners, and 4 great guys. We have 24 employees now at our organization, and we now have about 1,100 apartments under management that we own about 600 of them, and we manage 400 for third parties. And that was really kept us busy for about the first 3 years when things were really still pretty tight. Capital was tight. There weren't a lot of construction deals going because it didn't seem like there was a lot of construction capital outside of capital improvement projects for roads, bridges, and so forth. And then about 2.5 years ago, all that lack of activity really opened up the spigot, and now everybody is so busy. It's really remarkable.
Primarily, and you're talking primarily commercial now at this point. That's what really opened up.
Yeah, and multifamily. I mean, out behind here, there's over 1,000 new units in West Des Moines. I mean, it's just been very, very active.
Are you finding it hard to get subs?
It's hard. If you pay promptly and have open communication, I think you'll find the right subs for you. But that's a big challenge.
Yeah.
And also, it comes at an increased cost because they're so busy.
Sure.
Finite nature of things creates a commoditization that brings the pricing up, and we're finding that to be true.
So when you first got into multifamily, as an example, a rental on a 2-bedroom 6 years ago versus today, what would be the difference? How much has that increased?
Let's take downtown out of it because that's an anomalistic situation going on there. But just in the suburbs where we have probably 800 units, a 2-bedroom, 800 square foot unit may have cost around $750 to $900 depending on where you were, and that range now is probably $900 to $1,200.
Ouch.
Per month.
That's but the demand's there. Obviously, they're filling up.
Certainly, our whole portfolio, which again we're pretty small, Jeff. Honestly, of the 1,100 units we have, we probably have about 25 to 30 open at any one time.
Wow,
So,
that's good. 3%.
just under 3%.
Yeah, outstanding. Okay, last question. We've been talking about this for a long time in my industry and investment advisory work, and that is, when are interest rates going to rise? And then what's going to happen to investment portfolios? What's going to happen to the stock market? Let's just flip that to the construction industry. Interest rates are a driver in your ability to get money to do deals like what's behind us here. And interest rates are low, and it looks like they will maintain this kind of low level for, who knows, an indefinite period of time. But once they do rise, we get a 1%, 2%, 3% spike in interest rates. What do you think that'll do to your business?
Well, I would say if I have the three hats that I discussed earlier, if I have my owner hat on, which is the guy that brings the equity, and then typically you have a financing component, right? There's a lot of debt on a lot of these products.
You bet.
But if we have about a 70% loan to value goal on our properties, or a loan to cost goal depending on where we were, the risk I see in the rates rising is lease rates were set at a certain amount for 5 or 10 years. For example, these guys are here for 10 years. If we don't have discipline as owners to know that those interest rates are historically low, and if we don't have our debt in line with the lease term, you could run the risk of a debt service coverage ratio requirement
Sure.
on your property, to where you've become accustomed to these 4 or 5%, sometimes 3% interest rates. And if they suddenly go to a more historically normal 7, your debt service has doubled. And if you sort of built your distribution schedule or your rent schedule based upon a 1.3 debt service coverage ratio, 1.4, and suddenly your debt changes, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I think that there will be some real issues when the interest rates come up, but the people who have discipline will be fine.
Do you protect yourself with like rent escalators? Every 3 years, rent's built in to go up to offset increasing costs?
Yeah, great question. Typically, they're in 5-year increments.
Okay.
But and we're trying to secure our debt for 5 to 10 years at a time, sometimes longer. So, but I think there will be some. The risk I see is people building their world around historically low rates and not being prepared for the rates. So we're going to try to have a little bit of dry powder for when those guys and gals fall down. We'll try to jump in and buy it.
Outstanding. So that's one of the things that we look at as an investment in real estate, is how do developers, how do property owners protect themselves? Because rates are going to change, and these properties aren't going to go away for 10, 20, 30 years. So how do they protect themselves against changing environments in the economy? Troy, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. You bet.